Hi there, Carmen. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you? Hold on. I'm
Well,
playing Michael Jackson in the background. I'm trying to shut him off. Oh, there.
what? You're listening to Michael Jackson in the background?
Yeah. Yeah. I put on disco. I put on a disco mix on YouTube
Oh,
and
cool.
I was just like rocking away, you know. I'm billing people. That's always a good thing. And
Yeah. Are you is that the YouTube music channel or are you just on regular
yes.
YouTube?
Uh it's YouTube and I got a play mix that said I just typed in disco and they came up with a mix
Oh,
in YouTube.
cool. Have you tried the YouTube music thing?
No, no, not at all. I didn't even know it existed.
Yeah, they have a where it's just a music channel for,
How about that?
isn't that weird? I did
YouTube is
I keep
really
getting info on it and I don't know what it's about. So I need to check it out.
ah
I was
yeah.
all right.
Am I the only one here? No, can't be.
No, we got
Might be.
Carol and Darla just came on. Darla, we hasn't been here for a while. This will be fun.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm here.
yeah. Yeah.
Jay's here.
Hey, yeah. I've missed the last couple of weeks. I've had jobs on Friday nights, Friday evenings. It's Friday evening my time.
Ah, okay.
Right now it's 7 p.m. and so I was last Friday. I was on the beach in Cannes photographing a summer party. And what was interesting, I kept meaning to post on Facebook. The dress was casual, informal, no shorts. So okay, that was the dress code. I said, okay, Friday night in Cannes. Let me think about this. So the super spiky velvet, hot pink shoes and lace dress. This is like casual, informal. Everybody came. All the women showed up in dress and heels, and I'm like, I had pants on. I had little capri pants, but I did put on heels, so that I kind of look like the crowd. But I was like, ooh, I needed to have a dress.
Well, you can't really photograph in a dress as easily as you can in pants.
For sure, for sure. And heels.
And well, heels always.
Well, I had heels on,
I'm sure the
but
heels just make it
On
so
the
much
beach.
easier.
it's one of these beach restaurants that they're on the beach,
Uh huh.
but it's not like if you step, you're on a floor, like a dance floor. You could step out into the sand, but nobody did. And if
Oh yeah.
and like right, and then just right outside are all the beach chairs, and then there's the sea. So it was right on the beach. Um,
Yeah. There's a restaurant in Florida that I love to go to called the Sandbar, and
okay.
it's in Anna Maria Island, and it's literally right on the beach.
Oh
So
yeah,
you
yeah.
have to put the wood slats so you can sit out. But when you leave, if you go out the back way, when you leave, you step off into the sand. So,
Uh no, this is one of those the kind of, yeah, it's a beach restaurant, but it's a little fancy. You go down these stairs and they're kind of chrome and this big bar area, and then they have a covered tent so you're protected from the sun and stuff.
how cool!
Which, but it was very cool because I got to bounce my flash off the that tent ceiling, so I got really nice light. And I was happy.
Excellent.
Yep.
So, what do you want to share something with us today? Because Jay's got some photographs. I didn't get photographs from anyone else.
I can send a link to the party that 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 I shot. I can do that. Let me see if I can get a.
Um,
And I have a video. I did put a video of a family shoot that I did. That's on my Facebook page. A short one. It's let
on
me
your
give you
Facebook
the
page.
long. Yeah, it's like a 1 minute, like minute and a half.
Uh-huh.
I posted a video of a family portrait session. There you go. Let's see. You want Carmen Black photograph? No, not that one. That's my regular. Uh, See where it says in the intro, my intro? That'll take you to my page. Go to the left
This
in the
isn't it
column.
here.
Oh, yeah, yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah, that's
Okay.
it.
All right.
Maybe it has to cue in first before it plays.
Oh, it's playing for me. Is it not playing for you?
It's a little jerky
Oh,
on
it's
my end.
yeah, probably because of
The webinar.
the webinar. Yep.
The oldest son was going off to college, so she wanted a family portrait. So that was their preview of their session.
Very nice.
So you put that together from individual shots?
Yeah. And then I had an assistant, so I always thank him.
Very nice. Nicely done.
Oh, thank you.
Now, when you go out to do these family shoots, are you by yourself or you have assistant with you?
On this shoot, I had an assistant with me. My partner. He's very good. He's an amateur photographer, and he's very, very good. So we've been together long enough that he can, scrim these people,
Sure.
move the flash, carry my bags.
Excellent. Well, it sounds that sounds like things are hopping for you over there.
Yeah, they're starting to. Like in the last 6 weeks, I feel like I'm continuously answering. I feel like I'm answering inquiries way more frequently than I used to.
That's excellent. Good news.
So, yeah, I'll send you the link for the party. That one's a little longer because it's a party, and
Put it in the chat here.
I will.
Okay.
I
Carol,
will in a minute. I'll let you know.
Carol, what's up with you?
Sorry, I was on mute. It's been actually nice and busy, but I've come to the end of that run. I have a client who has some some high-end clients, and they have summer homes, and so he was looking to get all of the photography done before all this. Summer really doesn't start here till 4th of July, so he kind of front-ended all of the shoots, and then we won't do any more until after Columbus Day. So that's what I've been busy doing, and I just finished a backlog of editing. I was away on that island that I've mentioned before, and haven't downloaded those images, but try to create a couple of shots. One of the where there are young ladies kind of was my model, and so I'm going to kind of play with that as a more of a fine art piece. But I do have a question out of nowhere. I got an inquiry for services. I was looking and they're not on my promo card list, and I'm not really sure they got my name, but it's from an interior designer, and they were asking about my prices, and I sent them my price structure, which I had to modify because I realized, they were asking what my full day rate and my half day rate is. And from our discussions, I don't like to talk about day rates in that way. So, but I do know I've come with clients who, like, say, a kitchen designer isn't going to need 10 images. So my full, rate for a day is for 10 finished edited images.
Mm-hmm.
For an architectural shoot. And but I have done less because you don't need 10 pictures of a kitchen. So I realized the way that I priced it was just dividing my rate by 10, and there's no incentive for someone to go for a full day if they can just choose 7 or 8 images if it's going to cost them no more. So I modified that to bring it to that, like, maybe at 7 images, it starts getting to a breaking point that you're going to want to do a full day rate. But they came back to me saying that they usually get like 18 images a day. I'm thinking
Right.
18, that's really 2 days worth of work. But when I went on their site, um, it seems like they do a lot. And then what she told me is that the way that they get that in is that they go the day ahead of time and like scout it for shots. And she wasn't clear if that's something that they do and they give me, their shot list through that to kind of, streamline the process. But I also noticed that a lot of the images are more vignette style. So I'm not setting up a whole room.
Absolutely. That's why I'm always very careful when bidding day rates. I would say, I've had clients push me for day rates in the past. And what I would say is, well, the job is really bid upon the project that you're doing. Sometimes a day rate will save you a lot of money, and sometimes a day rate doesn't make sense for you. We like to look at the jobs, but if you want a comparison day rate, it would be between $1,800 and $2,700 a day. That's a comparison. What does that get? Well, it gets me for a day. I mean, if I can do 18 shots and I'm not killing myself, I don't care because I didn't bid it per shot. But see, that's the thing. See, you limited it to, when you say I'm only going to deliver 8 shots, you're basically jumping ahead of the game. You don't know what the shots are yet.
Yeah.
If they're vignettes, if they've got 8 vignettes and 3 big shots and a couple of exteriors, that's definitely doable. So,
but the difference the challenge is that editing a vignette and editing a full, the amount of time. So, well, I just said I responded by saying I'm confident we can work out something, and I was going to actually be in town on Monday, and I'd be happy to stop by and talk in further detail. But the challenge is that vignettes may be less, but there's just way more. Well, yeah. I was thinking about, a lot of it for me, because I don't use a lot of lighting. I'm on the back end is the heavier part than the front end. So the shot itself, though it takes a lot to set up and stuff, it's on the back end that I'm doing more of the editing.
What's their website?
Hufford House, HUFFARD House Interior Design. I don't know what the URL is. And what was interesting is that I looked at, they have on the site, you can see 2 of the projects have photographers, and that, the name of the photographer. And at first I'm looking at it thinking, I've heard of one, and I'm thinking, wow, why are they looking for another photographer? But
okay. Well, let's look at this shot. How long would it take you to do this shot?
See, hold on. I don't know. Because I don't have an assistant and I don't have a stylist. To say how long that would take me to do that shot, I don't know what condition the room is in. I don't know what.
Well, they stage the rooms. They're interior designers.
Yeah.
They're not hiring you to be an interior designer. They're going to stage the rooms. That's their job.
Well, see, you would think so. And I just finished doing the job going back, and that's not so much a given. So when the styling, it's not like, okay, I'm going in there. There's still the conversation. Well, do you think this? Yeah, it's.
Okay.
I do ask if they have a stylist, a room stylist.
Yeah, I definitely. I am never, ever going to be put in the position where I have to style the room. They're interior designers. That room should look exactly the way they want it to look. Now, I'm going to do things like, I don't know if you notice this, but this couch and this couch are probably not, they look like they're straight across from each other, but they're probably angled a little bit because the lens does things. The lens will make these look real wide, and so you kind of cheat them a little bit. I'll do that. That's my job. But this shot right here, That's a 15-minute job.
No. And I would disagree with, well, at least for me. So I also, I've been working with people who, they're not high end with big budgets. So a
Right.
stylist is a minimum of $500 a day, and they're already trying to figure me in,
But I
and
don't.
so
But I don't understand why an interior designer would hire somebody to do interior design for them.
I'm not saying that's necessarily the case, but it's also so I just went back to reshoot a project I did down in Massachusetts, some exterior for a job that's going to get into a magazine, and
Uh-huh.
it was an interior designer. And the problem was I was ready to shoot the exterior when I was there, but she didn't need it because she's an interior designer, which lo and behold, I went back to get the exterior because the magazine wanted it. Anyway, so when I was there, you know, was it going to be photo? Oh, she'll do the interior designing. Well, it wasn't photo ready, and it wasn't set up. I mean, she may do that, but all I'm saying is it takes more time. Not every space, like they're not living in that space, which actually she was living in this space and it wasn't ready. So I'm not going to go under the assumption that it's going to be ready
No, no.
for me.
You're talking apples and oranges here. I'm not talking about the setting up of the room. I'm talking about the
Oh.
photograph.
So in taking the photograph and setting it up, I mean,
The
yeah, it
setting
could
of the
be.
room is a given. If they spend an hour and a half setting up the room, you're going to have to bill them for that. I'm just talking about just the photography.
So I would take this shot. I would have to, set up or decide that this was the point of view, get it set with the camera, and I take multiple images with lights on and lights off. And, it could be 15 or half an hour. I don't know. I mean, 15. I really, once I start shooting away, it's
When I look at
fine.
this, the
But
photographer has not tried to balance the inside with the outside. So windows are blowing out. There's a little bit of shadow over here. So over in this corner, probably bounced into the ceiling is a strobe. And that's it. That's really it. You can see the bright light. Probably some of that is that bright light here, but you can also see that shadow cast down there. So there's definitely something coming from over here. There's nothing coming from this side at
there's
all.
probably
Nothing coming from in
probably a
front.
window on the left.
What's that?
I would say there's a window camera left.
Could be this could be a window over here. Yeah.
Yeah, because right, the window is on the left.
But this photographer is not lighting anything. Let's look at their portfolio.
And the photographer, these two photographers from underneath are not, the one on the right is not I've heard of her before, and she's represented by Wonderful Machine, but she's not, she shows interiors, but when you look at her images, again, my second time around, she's hand holding, she's just taking shots because they're not straight.
Ew.
I mean, they're not, the walls are not, they're not, I wouldn't take images like that.
Right.
I wouldn't do.
Okay,
No,
so
that one,
I always go back to the big argument back in the day when I was really doing a lot of this stuff because I shot multi-million-dollar homes. There were two schools of thought for architecture. Architectural Digest was way on one end of the spectrum, and Metropolitan Home was on the other end of the spectrum. If you did a shot with Architectural Digest, if you shot for them, this shot in front of us would take half a day because it wouldn't look like this. As a matter of fact, when you were done, it wouldn't look like this room at all. There'd be a spotlight on the flowers and a spotlight on the top of the chair and a spotlight on the top of the chair and a spotlight on. You'd have my friend Will. He had 100 inky dinks, and what an inky dink is, it's a little bitty. I think it's about 150 watt spotlight, little Fresnel light. When he gave up and retired, he sold his truck. He had 100 inky dinks, and there were times when he would have 50 of those things in a shot. That was Architectural Digest. and there would be shadows up the wall, and there'd be a light behind this plant, and there'd be, all that stuff. Metropolitan Home was the other end of it, and Metropolitan Home is, if you use a flash, you better have damn good reason. So the photographers would take big white sheets and hang them up and bounce the light. This is Metropolitan Home. I don't think there's any lighting to this at all.
No, but there's also, look at the ceiling. I mean, they're not, yeah, this isn't, I mean, look at the ceiling. Look at it's not straight, so that's just something
Whoa. It may not be straight, but these are vertical.
Not all of them.
Don't know how you can straighten that and not lose this vertical here.
Well, what I'm saying, not all the images. I've already gone through her website, so I can in some of them. And this is like, why isn't it a one? Well, anyway, I'm not going to go through so.
Why isn't it what?
Why wouldn't that be a 1-point perspective?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
Why wouldn't that be a 1-point perspective shot? So by doing that, you've got this awkward angle to the ceiling.
Well,
that is very disruptive. You're not getting any value out of it.
Well, I don't know. I wasn't there. I couldn't tell you. I imagine that if you came straight at this fireplace from over here, you'd lose the wall with the window on it. Or you just get I don't know.
Yeah. And anyway, so those are the things. So when I'm shooting, and for what what I bring to my work are those types of things where you're like, to me, that image, anyway, that's not even the point. The point being that I don't shoot handheld. I just don't, and I can't. And I set up and I make sure the images are true, and that just takes time, and that's what I deliver. So I'm not going to, so I don't know what I'm saying. I'm in lost track of, I'm just trying to figure out, I'm hoping that they're going to take me up on this. And if they found me, they saw my work. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
And anyway, so for full rooms, I guess what I'm trying to figure out is, I don't know what I'm trying to figure out. This just came across my.
Yeah, I'm just saying that this should be easily done in a day. If you're going to be bringing in a bunch of lights and stuff, I totally get it. Obviously, that is a big challenge. But now this one's not even perspective controlled.
I know, that's what I'm
Looks
saying.
like a different photographer.
This is the one. This is the other one. They're mostly not.
Yeah.
And she's not. I mean, she. It's like everybody has on their website. They do interiors, but it's not the same thing. And this. I mean, look at these images. There's like five of the exact same thing posted here. One has
but
the
that's
light.
not the photographer's fault.
No, but I'm saying if I'm looking at it saying, okay, yeah, well, here we get 18 images out of a shoot. And it's like, well, let's look at this shoot. 5 of them are the exact same image. So some of them are cropped. And is that,
I know what you're trying to say. That, yeah, they're doing a numbers game, but they're not getting quality out of it.
Yeah, like this image on the top is lovely, but it's a cropped image of the one on the left. And then here's an image of one with the flag poster with the light on and the light off. It's kind of like.
Yeah, I don't know. See, they're just the design firm here is going for quantity. We'll just fill this thing up with little vignettes, and even if we have to crop them.
A picture of a toilet. You've got to be kidding me. Like, why would you post that picture? What is that picture telling anybody? I don't know.
That they have toilet paper
space in the room.
I don't know. Anyway,
and you have a view when you're sitting there.
So I guess what I'm trying to figure out is, as I go forward, I'm not going to, this is what and this is not me making it up. This is a standard, I've inquired around. I mean, I'm 10 images for a full day shoot is pretty much the norm for architectural photography. And so I guess what I did was that I gave her a price for 10 images for the day, and then I gave her a per image price for a minimum of 5 images for smaller scale projects. And then she came back with, we usually get 18. So I don't want to, I have to figure out as I go forward not to do something that is counter to where I've gotten myself to already. I started at $50 an image. I'm not going backwards to that. and to say, well, that I'm doing, sometimes it's not reasonable to just say, well, you'll get this amount of images because it's insane. And in that job I was just telling you about for that interior designer, I said, I'm there. I've already driven 2 hours there, and I'm not gonna. And I was gonna do the job, but all of a sudden, we're cutting off doing the one job, and I'm rushing through it because we're gonna go to another location because she wants to squeeze in other work, and then she's not really satisfied with that work because it wasn't ready. And it's like, well, I don't want to be put in the position where I'm gonna be. I don't want it to be looked at like you're disappointed because I didn't deliver. It wasn't so much I didn't deliver, is that you're running around, you drive me to some other, having me go to some other place, revamp and get done before the homeowner gets there, and you haven't propped it. So I don't want to give people that opening to say, well, you said we can get 18 and you're going to deliver this, when I don't know, it maybe, every shot is like the one on the, the top left, and you have to, so by the per image makes it difficult. And I kind of have a half and half offered, but I don't know. This is my first time coming.
Well,
I don't know if I'm making sense.
You have to, you have to sit down and talk with them. I mean, if you're,
That's what I'm planning on doing.
yeah,
But I guess the thing is, I want to retain. I'm excited to have someone contact me out of the blue. I have no idea how they found me, which is exciting, meaning something's working. But on the other hand, I have to be reasonable to put out there what I'm not gonna like jump through hoops to be something that I'm not. But on the other hand, I'm gonna look to want to over deliver, which I always do. So, it's all of these kind of. And then what I said is that, I don't need, when they said, I'm reading the email, they're not saying they're looking for me to go the day before to,
right.
scout these photo shoots, or they do it, or, if they know exactly what they want, that is much easier. I want this point of view, and that's, okay, we're setting up the camera, boom, and we got it, is much different than me coming in and figuring out, how I'm going to do this. So that can definitely speed things up. But, so that's why I asked, and I'm still waiting for a response, to go in and talk to them and give me a better understanding of how you do actually.
Sure.
Work. But, and then I was going to come back to then work out a price, not to, because she's asking. So I told her, it's 10 images per full day. She goes, well, we usually get 18. Would it be the same price? And I'm like, what? So,
well, I mean,
I don't.
She does. I mean, she does get 18. That's a what? That's a 5-minute photograph. There. That's a detail shot. That's a slam and bang. This is just shooting down the bookcase. Most of the time is spent probably with bedrooms and etc. I would hope that they're going in and styling these the day before, so that everything looks just great when you get there, because that certainly isn't your job. To do that. I mean, look at this shot. This is just, and the other thing I was going to point out is I don't think there's a whole lot of Photoshop going on here. I really don't. Do you?
No. Well, in the one, like I said, the walls are. This one is better than that last one, but yeah, I don't know.
Do you,
It'll be
Carol,
interesting.
do you have a portfolio on Houzz? Houzz?
Yeah, no, I don't. Um, I've
I've
been
gotten inquiries from there. I've gotten inquiries from there.
I belong to ASMP,
Okay.
and they were talking. One of the challenges is one the terms and conditions. ASMP has been really working, or trying hard working with them, but they also really, I guess you put like your range of fee, and I know I have to get on there. One client of mine is telling me that I really do need to get on there, but um, yeah, a lot of seem to be, in the architectural group that I'm part of, Forum. They say, they haven't really gotten work from there because they'll put their range, and people will just say, well, you shoot for $125 or whatever, some ridiculous amount. It's like, well, the range is there. That's not what I'm showing. And I haven't had the experience. I've just been, anecdotally, from this group that I belong to that doesn't speak very highly.
Yeah, well, yeah, but one of the things that I've gotten, there's like every photographer and his mother are in my area have posted on Houzz, but somehow because my pictures get liked and put in people's portfolio, I bubble up to the top of their list. And now it's also on my SEO. When people Google me, that portfolio comes up. If nothing else, it says that you're alive.
Yeah, thank you.
So, and if and then they'll see your work, and you may not. Again, it just shows notoriety that you are working and doing stuff.
Yeah.
Other than your website.
Yeah, and thank you. I haven't, and some of this work that I do with this one client is more, they're stone and tile, and a lot of the images I see them as being more product photography, in that, the images of the countertop, within the space, but it's not necessarily the point of view an architect would be looking for. So I don't really have them highlighted very much. But they are steady work, and they're the best clients, and they pay within a week. They're great. And he's been like, the marketing person has been talking me up to his, we went on a shoot and the contractor was there, and we ended with the contractor saying, so you're going to be the one to be able to photograph the rest of the house, right? And I'm like, you bet. So, yeah, so, but anyway, this was just, I do have to give it more thought, but I do think that that's going to have to definitely be, I still don't work with an assistant, but looking to say that I would probably, for something like this of banging out the 18 images, would need to hire an assistant to work, even if the interior designer is doing the styling. Someone who knows what they're doing to help. I don't know. It's moving on to a whole different,
but yeah.
And my concerns with changing is that, I picked up a new client who's a kitchen designer, and I know who she used to work with, and she was about to say, yeah, you're cheap. She goes, well, you're not cheap. You're a good value. And I'm not sure if that still equates to cheap, but so I'm definitely not looking to reduce my prices. And I don't want to undercut either. I'm becoming more involved with the photo community here, and I think it's important. I think, it's, my former profession was the same thing. Everybody thinks they can design a house, and when you start undercutting, you don't help anybody, and I don't want to be part of that. But I do know that I don't come with other things that they offer. So I being less expensive, slightly less, is just because that's where I'm at in my business.
Slightly less is competitive.
Yeah.
Being stupid with pricing is stupid. And
Yeah.
we
And
see
that's what
way too many beginning photographers thinking, well, this is $1,000 job. I'll do it for $75 to get my foot in the door. And that's just, borderline insane.
yeah.
Not only did you screw up yourself because you're never going to get 1,000 now, but you just lowered the value of the job. It may not be $75, but it's probably not going to be 1,000 again because now they're doing it. But this is the problem we will always have with the self-employed. There's no union. There's no workers information. There's no anything. It's just every man for themselves, every woman for themselves kind of thing. And that's what happens. We just have to keep doing the best work we can and work with the clients who appreciate it. There are some clients that if you lowball them, they're not interested in you at all. They know what this stuff's worth.
Yeah. Well, they're not going to think you can do it.
What's
if you
that?
don't, if you lowball for a project that they're familiar with and knowing the complexity of it, they think you don't know how to do the job.
Exactly right. Exactly right. I wrote a long article a number of years ago about that happening to me. I was looking for a photographer for one of my clients because I didn't have time to do the job, and I had a photographer come in, and it was a 3-day fashion shoot, 4 hours in the morning, midday is off, and then 3 hours in the afternoon. And there was a shoot list. I think we were doing 5 shots morning, 5 shots afternoon. All the models were ready, clothes, everything was going to be designed. They had their own wardrobe styles there. And I had a young man come and show me his iPad. He didn't have a portfolio, and he had some very good photographs on there. And he quoted the whole job for $200. And never going to happen. Never going to happen. And when it eventually was bid out, I think we paid about $3,300 to the photographer who did it. But $200, I mean, it just was. He had absolutely no idea of what his value was. So if he didn't have any idea what his value was, why would I give it to him? Right? That's not my job.
Yeah.
So.
So
all right,
the other
good.
The other thing too is that what I find when you're talking about what you just finished saying about working as freelancers and stuff, the whole idea that it's like we can't talk about pricing because it's colluding, or why is that specific to photographers? Or I mean, it just seems so.
There's a couple of different groups, but it's the way ASMP was put together back in the day when they did it. That's what happened. Because of the type of organization is we are not a union. Photographers are not a union. And so because we're not a union, if we talk about money, it can be considered price fixing. Now, is anyone going to really haul you up on federal charges if you're sitting in downtown Portland talking to another photographer about pricing? No, of course not. But ASMP can't talk about it at meetings or in their newsletter or anything like that because they're an organization. So it would be seen as price fixing.
Got it. Because we're going to be having a local in October, kind of like a business workshop day, which is long overdue, and trying to get help members to become more structured for themselves, have learning structure for themselves.
Sure. Sure, that'd be great.
But yeah,
the biggest.
So I did get when you're talking about I did get a what's that?
Go ahead.
I did get a inquiry from another client that I've done some, I was contacted last minute, like the night before, and did a job, and the price, things were low. I actually was originally, I contacted them because they had a new building in town, and I was hoping to photograph it, and that never came about. But I ended up doing kind of not event, but like some dignitaries came to town and photographed them at their new building, and then did a employee group shot, and then they had called again, and it's not the kind of work that I necessarily go after, and they called to see if I could do some headshots. They're going to have like their annual meeting and in September, and they have some new employees and wanted to have headshots done. And I just don't do that. And I don't know. And so anyway, I contacted someone, the one who does the local ASMP, who does headshots and stuff, and spoke with him. And he, I was going to price it way under. I had really no idea. And we went through it, and I still priced it less because I don't have the experience in doing. I don't think I don't think I'm going to be able to deliver what he delivers, but I'll definitely be able to deliver 100% better than what they already have, because she sent me the site. We wanted to match this. I'm like, oh, so that's not, I'm not worried that I won't be able to achieve something, but and they went for it, and I was going to price it half. I think it was at least half the price, and was wondering about that. So that was really helpful to get an idea. He didn't give me a price. He was saying, these are ranges, and for it's a nonprofit, and looking online, I guess it is a profitable thing to do corporate headshots, because I was really surprised at what they charge per headshot.
Oh yeah, it can be pretty good. Some areas are better than others. Yeah.
Yeah. So they jumped on it. So
good.
That was
Darla left. Let's get Janice. Janice, what's up with you?
I just managed to make it back from Phoenix and didn't make it back in time last night to get any images submitted, so I'll submit those next week.
Oh, I was looking at that road you came in on. I didn't know about that road. That looks pretty cool.
Neither did I. In the very beginning, on the south side of it, the views from that south side are just fabulous. But since we were lost and trying to find our way out, we followed the people in front of us, and I told my husband, I said, we're coming back.
So that you had that big mountain, right?
Yes.
Mount Graham, I believe.
I'm not sure. I didn't look that part up, but yeah, we just took out and took off from the south side, and it's just a whole loop that goes around 70, around the dam, then and across the dam, and it was just amazing.
Yeah, is there water in the lake?
Oh yeah.
There wasn't 2 years ago.
There was probably for a lake, in my terms, it was very tiny, but there was water in it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 2 years ago it was. I mean, people were actually hiking through it. It was just a nothing spot. Yeah, very cool. My dad used to take me up to San Carlos, whatever it's called, lakes.
It's the Apache Reservation.
Yeah, San Carlos Reservation or whatever. We used to go up there to go deer hunting, and so really familiar with that place. But I'd totally forgotten about that road. I mean, in my brain it didn't even exist. So how cool!
Yeah, it was a great way to get lost. I would have rather done that in the beginning of the day, or known where I was going, so that I could have stopped and taken pictures. But like I said, we're going to go back.
You don't want to get lost if you don't have a lot of water.
No. Or know that it's a dead end, but we were following lots of other people, so we thought it was pretty safe. And one of the guys said, yeah, no, it just goes up and around across the dam, and then comes in south of Globe.
Came in south of Globe. So you ended up on the highway where you went then north to Globe and then back on the 60?
We were on 70 the whole time. We kicked 70 up off of, where did we take 70 off of? Oh, shoot.
70?
We exited in New Mexico. We went off of 10.
Okay, way down there. All right.
Way down there, yeah. So we were still 188 miles from Phoenix, and it was 7:30 at night, and it's like, you know what? We just need to get there. But Duncan in Arizona was gorgeous too. A cute little town.
Isn't it great?
It is. So I definitely want to go back and do that area. But the whole point coming to Phoenix this time was my daughter needed product shots. So, mostly I, maintained my composure and
You
didn't
came
kill her.
into Thatcher, Byless, Cutter,
Yes.
and then up into 70. I see it. And then you
Yeah,
cut over and went along the dam. Oh, I see what you did. Very cool. Is that where the accident was there on 70?
The accident was there on 70 and just about a half a mile north of that loop road, the Coolest Dam loop.
Got it. Yeah,
And
Mount Graham is the big mountain that you saw over there. I'd always heard of Mount Graham growing up because my dad never went east. Whenever we got in the truck, we went either west or north. That was it. We never went south. We never went east. I was just the way he was. Only recently did I discover Mount Graham. That's one big mountain.
Yeah, well, the observatory's on there.
Yeah. Plus, it's a beautiful drive to the top. Is just astounding. It gets dirt right towards the very top. What a beautiful place, and quite a lot cooler there than it is here in the valley in the summertime. I mean, you get up on Mount Graham at the top, and you're looking at 75, 80 degrees. Where down at Safford, it might be 105. So pretty cool. Well, good. Glad you had a good trip. Next up, Jay. There we go. Hi. You wanna take us through these pictures?
Sure.
All right. Hold on.
Well,
I'm going to make you the presenter. That way you have them up on your screen as well.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. I'm going to make you the presenter. And
Just lost it.
It's not. It's not doing it, Jay. Oh.
It says when you're ready, show my screen. Not ready. I'm not used to this.
What do you have a button that says show my screen?
There is a pop-up that says show my screen. When you have been made the presenter, please close confidential windows. When ready, show my screen, or just that.
Yeah, do that. Just hit the button, show my screen.
I'm not getting anything. Oh, there's something. No.
I'm seeing as Arizona.
Oh yeah, this is my. Well, I don't know this is my Lightroom page. I don't know what I'm supposed to see. What am I supposed to be seeing?
Whatever's on your computer.
Oh, that's my Lightroom page.
Okay.
Is that what you're seeing?
I'm seeing your Lightroom page, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what it is. Okay, well, this is the last day of my time in Peru. I have been there about 2 weeks. And so this is I was in one town called Arequipa, and then went to Cusco for about a week. Cusco's south of Machu Picchu, and that's why most people go there. But I had a guide who took me around to the Sacred Valley and other things like that for a couple of days, in addition to Machu Picchu. So the last day I was on my own, and there was a market there called San Pedro Market. So I wanted to get back to there. Actually, I went over to see some people in the morning for another story. And then I was on my way back, and I was planning on doing a couple other things that I hadn't gotten to on my list. And in the course of walking back from where my first meeting, I turned a corner and went down the street, and the street is wall to wall with shops that make all these religious embroidery things. And this is one of them. I did, very different. And this guy was in one of them. So I popped in and I said, "Can I take any you mind if I take some pictures?" He said, "No." So I said, "Okay." So you can see him with his needles and so forth. He looked up, so I thought that I got a bunch of shots, but he looked up, and that was the one I focused on. And you can see the kind of work that they do. Very, this is all over the top stuff, and this is very serious. There's each parish in Cusco has its own stuff, and this is for that's their clients. And it's just like there's 50 of them on the street. And they're all shapes and sizes, mostly small. And this is just one of them. So I thought, okay, well, this would be a good way to get started. Totally unexpected. And in a town like Cusco, you don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
As it turns out. So it was totally completely unplanned. And so that was number one. And then going over to number two is this woman. Actually, it's not cropped. Let's crop it. So this is people on the street heading towards, this is a couple of blocks from the large market in the center of Cusco called San Pedro Market. And you have vendors and you have people walking around carrying their stuff. So this is an Indian woman who was just walking around, going from wherever she was going to wherever she was going. And I thought, Indian women wear hats. It's part of what they do is they wear hats. Each village, each town has its own hats that they wear. So this is from one particular place, I would think. And you get the colors that, Cusco is not afraid of color. There's lots of color, as you're beginning to see. So I thought it was a nice little portrait, and it worked well in color and it worked well in black and white, but I chose to leave it in color. I think cropped it down to get rid of some of the extraneous stuff. But people are wonderful. They're really beautiful people. They are probably amongst the most attractive people, good-looking people I have seen anywhere. And whether they're babies or they're grown-ups, they're just really very, very good-looking folks. And this is going into the market. This is a popular one. There's stalls after stalls. I mean, this particular market is like a block square, maybe a block and a half. And it's just filled with everything from food to meats, fruits, meats, vegetables. That's just one part of it, but all different kinds of stalls for everything else. Cheeses, lunch counters, bric-a-brac, everything is in there. So this was one of the food shots from one of the food vendors. So people really have liked this one. I like it, but it really resonates with people for whatever their reason is. It's got a lot of color, it's got a lot of shapes, it's got a lot of texture. These are all done without flash. This is all done with my Fuji X-T1, and it worked. So this is another vegetable, switching over to vegetables, some fruits. So this is you get an idea of the vegetables. Some are similar and some are not. Lima beans are very big. And then it's got the little kid in the back. I thought that was sort of adorable. And his mother's off to the side. Some of these gourds are huge. It's got broccoli. If you'll notice, the carrots are extra large. Some of the carrots are enormous. There's no potatoes in this. Actually, maybe right behind there are potatoes. There's a potential. There's 3,000 to 5,000 kinds of potatoes in Peru. So these are some of them. And again, you got the color. Then not everybody is equally up and alert. So this is an older woman with her stall, and she's selling rice and beans. And I don't know, I guess at certain times of the day, you just close your eyes and you wake up, and it's a very trusting environment. Nobody is particularly concerned. And if somebody would want anything, they'd probably get you up. But I mean, I guess you can see the array of different kinds of beans that are available in the region. And
Jay, how did people feel about you photographing them?
generally they were fine. I didn't photograph them if they didn't want to.
Did you ask before
Well, I didn't
you?
ask this woman, obviously, but
No, but in
in general, yeah, I did ask.
And
I
did
mean,
they want to be
this person
paid?
I didn't ask. You know, where the street shots, I didn't do it. What?
Did they want to be paid if they knew that you were
Well,
photographing them?
the people that wanted to be paid were people. You may have seen some other shots where people there's people that come in from the outer, from the little towns or villages. They come to Cusco, or they come to Arequipa, and they are in their full dress, and they carry lambs, or they bring a llama, or a what's the other one that begins with an A, and they set up this little scene in a doorway or wherever, and they want to get paid. But nobody else really was, you know, these are regular people and they weren't interested.
Okay.
It wasn't their thing. So they just were, these are just on the street. So this person I did not go up to, I just took her shot.
Yeah, my experience when I've been in, I was in India and in Vietnam, and it was very, like you said, there was a lot of staging going on, and people were, that they had their hand up.
Yeah, well, I caught on to that, and it was okay for me to do that for a couple or three times because you're really getting the shot, and people are really in their traditional outfits and so on and so forth. But once I did that for 2 or 3 times, I said, "That's it, no more pay." And even when I was but those were primarily in cities. When you get out into the country, it's less of an issue. People, some people are just. I was in a weaving town and crafts town, and people are just happy to get their photos taken. You know, that's just part of. They want you to come there to buy their crafts, and they want you to be comfortable and have an enjoyable time. So they're very engaging, and you know, very extending. So it's quite variable, but I think, you know, you can pick out the people that you need to pay pretty quick after the first day or two.
Okay, thanks.
But you know, I mean, the whole let's see, where is this one? You know, again, obviously, I didn't wake her up. This guy, this is also in the market, and this is in a trough behind one of the meat stalls. And somebody had a baby, and they just needed a place to put him while they were put her, I guess, and she's wearing pink. Put her while, you know, they were going through their day, you know, whatever they do during the day. They're minding their stall. So there's this little girl in her little trough. So I thought that was kind of adorable, and so I did that one. This is another woman on the street. Again, you can see the hat, which seems very unusual for us, but is very. This is de rigueur for if you're somebody who comes in and doing vending. You have your little outfit, and you have your. This is who you are. And no, I did not ask her. Again, this woman I did not ask. Some I did. This one I did in black and white. Most of them I did in color. They could go either way. The color was really nice, but it was just, this one seemed to be more appealing in black and white without the color. She's with her child, and she's set up selling beans and whatever, and she's wearing sandals. Where they come from, they probably come from outside Cusco and come downtown, and then they take the bus home at the end of the day. This is, as I was in the market and leaving, I hear this music. I mean, lots of drums and so forth. And I had no idea what this was. This is a gate. The market is, if you see that brownish building, the church building in the back, the market's right next to that. So I came down, and it's got this wonderful gate, and I see, well, it's a processional. And I had no idea that these things are going to be there today. But certain days of the week, certain times of the year, each parish, church has a saint's day. and they take these saint figures and put them on their floats or whatever they want to call them, the displays, and they carry them through town. And then this thing you'll see is a kind of a stand. At a certain point, they'll stop and give people a little bit of a break, because these things are not light. This would take about 20 some guys to carry. And so they just put it down, and you can't see the whole thing, but you can see the same. This is really amazing. This is for a church called Saint Blas. Saint Blas is sort of the crafty part of town, and Cusco is not flat. You know, right? This area is flat, and around the main square it's flat. But then you go uphill. I mean, these guys are going to carry this thing about another 16 blocks, about 12 to 15 of them uphill. And I walked it by myself uphill, and it's not easy, just me. So when you're carrying one of these guys around, it's not a game. It's serious business. And you can see over to the camera left, there's one of the banners, and you know that you saw the other guy making, and you know it all comes together at these kinds of events. As it turns out, there were 3 processionals that day, and I had 0 expectations for any of them. So all these photos took place between about 12 o'clock and 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So and I had no intention of running into any of this. So this is Saint Blas and his crowd. And each one has its own, not one band, but sets of bands that follow along. This happens to be one of the bands that was following the Saint Blas float. And these guys they have their outfits. I mean, this is, you know, they're fully orchestrated. And what some of them do is they have the music sheets on the back of the guy in front of them. So they were fun, and these are not quite. You can see guys in gray over there. These are guys in satin red. It's really a kind of it is a pageant, but I had no idea that I was going to run into this at all. That these are things you see somewhere else, but there they were, right? You know, this is just an occurrence, and people lined the block. This is another one for Saint Blas. As you can see, the detail work. And it's a matter of this is your parish, this is your pride, and people carry this around. This is another one going to another church, and there's usually a priest in front waving his incense burner, and this one I think was pretty incredible. If I don't show this, but the front of this was completely silver. So, if you want to know where the silver and gold in Peru went, a good chunk of it went into into the churches before it went to Spain. And they're just really remarkable. This is a different one. This is the 3rd one. This is San Jose, and you can see him back there, and you can see people have their placards and whatever else, and they're just going through the streets to the church. And this is one of the people, you know, that's, I guess, one of the church people, and it's an indigenous person, and you can see their hair's braided in the back and tied, and she's got her hat, and she's holding a candle, and she's got her floral spray and stuff like that. So it's quite a celebration, and everybody's engaged. This was different. This was a local instrument collection, and the people in back, you see with their mouths open, were singing, and you wouldn't want to hire these people for your wedding. They're really horrible singers, but they're doing what they're supposed to do. So it's a very collective experience, and these guys carted their instruments the whole way. And every once in a while they'd stop. So this is when, you know, I chased around and went on all different sides until I got a good shot. But people were very good about allowing me to do all this. There were no issues. this is one of the bands probably from the last. And, you know, as you can see, these people are not shy about their outfits. So that gives you a little glimpse. There's about, you know, a couple thousand more shots. And so the one of the points is that it's you never, people go in, I myself included, you want to go see the places, you want to go to all the spots, but there's just lots of stuff there. And if you just happen to be open to it, you can just get lots of fabulous stuff going on. So that's a little glimpse of 4 hours in Cusco.
That's cool. That's cool. I'm glad it was. I didn't realize it was a short amount of time when you put it on there. So you're going to have one hell of a collection of photographs there, Jay.
I do. I mean, there are a lot more I would have put on here, but I know. Okay, how many are you going to put up? So yeah, I have a lot of I'm really pleased with a lot of them. But you know, and I just don't know. I'm not quite sure what to do with them. That's the question. I mean, it's not like there's really a Peruvian community you can put up a display here and, you know, exhibit. I mean, for the Spain shots, I have an exhibit coming up next year. For these, I'm not quite sure what to do with. So if anybody has suggestions, I put them on Instagram, and I have to, you know, curate, you know, a section of my webpage for them. I'm not quite sure how to do that most effectively, except maybe just cycle them through and do a certain group of them 1 month and a certain another group another month, and so on and so forth.
Just add them to a travel section. But yeah, I would probably do a couple different little stories. You might have interesting stories like this is a story. You might have a food story.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you did a lot of food shots, but you might have
I
that.
I did a bunch at different restaurants we went to. Yeah. Yeah, there's food shots, yeah.
Well, very cool.
Did you enjoy these? I hope you enjoyed them. I enjoyed taking them. I had a good time.
Yeah, very much so.
Great job, Jay.
Thank you.
Very much so. Yeah.
Well, I guess once you get through the thing about taking photos of strangers, everything's game, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, there's always that sort of feeling of apprehension when we go to start taking a picture of somebody that's you know, that we don't know, or always feel like there's going to be a problem. But generally, people are pretty good. If you're like, and I think like Jay said, if you're in certain parts, they're going to want to be paid, that kind of thing. But you know what? Those are probably not the people I want to be taking pictures of. You know? So I'm kind of the man on the street kind of thing. We are looking at Carmen's photographs here, Carmen.
Hey, I'm unmuted. You didn't need to hear me eat my dinner.
So this is on a yacht? No, this is on that restaurant right on the beach.
Yeah, it's at the beach. Yeah, I don't see it on my page. I don't at the moment.
Huh.
I just see the Friday Advance Group organizer. You know that.
Are you guys seeing my screen?
I'm looking. No, that's what I mean. It looks like right before the webinar starts, at least for me.
Yeah, me too.
I'm seeing the same thing.
All right, hold on. It says I'm showing my screen.
Jay didn't let it go.
Oh, maybe that's it. I don't know. I don't know how to let it go. Oh, there. I'll just turn it. I'll just exit Lightroom.
No, it's not Lightroom.
No, it's not Lightroom. It's the webinar. The thing he gave you control of this.
Oh, I don't know how to do that. You have any suggestions, anyone?
I,
I don't know what.
huh.
Have to go out and come back again?
I don't know, Jay. You're still as a staff here.
Maybe if you remove him.
But there's no way for me to remove him other than turn him off. Jay, is there nothing floating around that says click here or?
There's something's coming up now. It's a
Yeah,
building.
I see. It's your screen, I think.
It's my screen. Oh, I know
Right.
what that is. Yeah, no, I'll exit and come back on.
Weird. All right.
But I'm still
It's
seeing.
showing
I'm still seeing the.
pause main screen. Let's see what I have done here to pause it. Yeah, are you getting it yet, Carmen?
No, I still see the. The regular entrance screen. Whatever it is that you do to start the party, on Friday, because normally when I sign in, this is what I see, that Friday
Yeah.
Advanced Group white page, and then you get then you come in, whatever
Yeah.
that means.
This is but I have everything set. I mean, I don't have I didn't do anything other than turn it over to, let's see. Go to webinar services. No. Let's see. How's that?
Not yet. In French, you would say pas encore. Pas encore.
Still nothing, huh?
Nope. My partner's parents are visiting, and they're German. And his mother speaks very little English, and his father not at all. So it's I laugh and say we speak the language of beer, and we laugh and drink, and all is well.
Well, we may have to. This may be a glitch in GoToWebinar, because GoToWebinar shows me as the guy doing it, and it says
Okay.
the screen is showing and it's recording what's on my screen, but you guys aren't seeing it, so there's something obviously wrong, and I don't know how to fix it. So we will look at these next time, Carmen. Okay.
Nope, no problem.
Next Friday.
It was just, now that I look at them, I said, oops, the color's off a little bit, that this is off, that is off.
Well, you
But
can tell us
I'm interested.
tell us what it is that you do when you go to these things and how you handle it. So
Okay, yeah.
very good.
All right.
All right, everybody, great. I will see you all next week. And it's so great to hear so many of you guys getting work and doing stuff. That is really fun. Have a good one.
All right. Have a good weekend.
Too. Have a good weekend, everyone. Bye-bye.